Hello and welcome to the channel. This is Steel City Knives. Right, I've got Victorinox video for you. As you probably know from the channel, I love Victorinox. I like Wenger as well. I'm going to make, well, I've already made a playlist that you can find with all my Victorinox videos. I did one on this and I'll link it at the end, but I like a single-bladed Victorinox knife. I know they're predominantly known as a multi sort of tool, but I like pocket knives anyway, so I love the single-bladed lineup that Victorinox do, and there are there's a few out there. So I thought I'd use this as a bit of a size comparison. As you can see from the thumbnail, I'm going to be talking about the Victorinox Safari, but this is the big boy. This is the 108mm, discontinued unfortunately. I wish they'd bring this sort of range back. It's a really substantial four-fingered knife. It's a really good sized knife really, but if we use these as a bit of a comparison, so they called this the Victorinox Solo. I think it's also been called the Victorinox Adventurer, but we also know this is the Solo as well, or the Army 1, and this is the ALOX version, but this is the 91mm version, so you can see the size difference there in the handle and then also on the blade itself. Now I have got one with a damaged tip, so I've lost a bit of the blade material, but even still you can see the difference in the blade size there. So big fan of this, absolutely love this knife. This is also a single bladed version. Now this is 100mm, so as you can see, not a great deal smaller than the 108, but a lot more slender and slimmer. Now these are both nylon handles. I think this is maybe sort of glass reinforced nylon, so it might be a bit more heavy duty. This has got a lovely texture. I've done a video on this, I'll link it at the end because I absolutely love this knife. But again, this has got a bit of an unusual handle to blade ratio. I think it's about 60-40, where this is such a more substantial knife, heavy duty knife. I love the texture on this nylon though. So this is a florist knife, so it's purpose built for florists. Obviously they have wet hands, so this is just a really grippy knife. But this, because they've used a cross weave here, it is really, really grippy. But yeah, I just thought they'd make good comparisons for this single bladed Victorinox. But yeah, I love this thing. So we're going to deep dive into it. We're going to have a look a bit about the history and about some of the other models. And yeah, have a bit of a walk around the knife itself. So let's get on with that. So before we sort of get into this, I just wanted to give, I love doing research on knives, and I like to give credit to where I have been researching them, and I've done that in past videos if I've got that information from knife forums. Now, Victorinox have an amazing amount of information out there on the internet. SacWiki is one that's just a fountain of knowledge, but I found a brilliant article on this knife on a blog, and it's called 3 Points of a Compass. This is the page here. I've not actually contacted the guy, but he's I think he's a UK guy. He predominantly does a lot of stuff on trekking and things like that, so if you're interested in that, definitely go and check it out. It's got some brilliant articles on there on all sorts of topics, but he does a brilliant sort of article just on this Safari line, and there's so much information, some brilliant pictures on there of all the different ranges and some old adverts. So just a brilliant, what I'll do, I'll link his blog in the comments, in the about part of this video. But yeah, go check it out. If you like trekking, you like sort of camping, things like that, there's so much information on there. I really enjoyed it. I went on there to sort of do a bit of research on this. I ended up stopping and reading a lot more articles as well. But yeah, really good blog there. But right, let's get into the knife. So how did the Safari range come about? So it started off, so Victorinox had the contract for the German army knife, and they created this, the GAC. So as you can see, very, very similar. Now they use the similar tool sets on this. There's a massive, massive difference on these GACs, and that is this. So this is a saw and combo tool. I absolutely love it. It's slightly different to the Victorinox saw. Now, a lot of them have these guards. Some have, the guards are very hard to come across if you're on the second-hand market. A lot of them do get lost, as you can see there. Once they're put aside, I could assure you, I bet they get lost a lot. But it's good to find one with the actual saw guard still there. So it's, excuse the oil, I like to keep all my knives well oiled up. Now this is not a push and pull saw, it only cuts in one direction, but it's got this brilliant multi-tool on the end here, so it's using one layer for several purposes. So, but yeah, it was very popular. Victorinox did it for a long time for the German army, and then the contract was taken. Same design used, but other companies were manufacturing them. But definitely one to get in your collection if you haven't got a GAC in there. They're still widely available, still very affordable. Like I say, if you can find a Victorinox one, brilliant, but a lot of brilliant companies made these. So it's good to collect. I hope to get more in the collection from different manufacturers. I don't actually think this is a Victorinox one, but I'll do a bit of a video on this on its own anyway, because it's by an unusual sort of manufacturer. But yeah, brilliant knife anyway. So this is where it stemmed from. This is the civilian version of it, and they called it the Safari. And what we'll do, shall we show the range? We'll go through the range now, shall we? So within the range, there's some really rare models as well. So definitely worth keeping your eyes peeled for some of them on the secondary market. So I've got the Solo here. There was the Solo Plus, which is this one. It's exactly the same as mine, but it had a corkscrew on the back. Then there's the Hunter. Now the Hunter did come in a couple of rare models. One was a fireman version. And instead of, so the Hunter, let's go through the Hunter first then. So the Hunter essentially has a blade, a skinning blade, has that saw and combo tool, plus a corkscrew on the back and an Allen reamer. And then the two sort of rare models that you don't see so much there was one in stag. So they had stag covers. The other rare one is a fireman one, which had, where you've got this Victorinox motif, they had axes where that was. And instead of having the Skinner blade, it had a serrated blade for the Skinner blade there. But yeah, one to watch out for. There was another one that was really rare on the... So it's essentially the Solo with the serrated blade, skinning blade. Now, I'm not going to be able to find a picture of that, but it had a shark etch there. And like I say, it was pretty much the Solo Plus, but with an extra skinning serrated blade. So one definitely to watch out for. It'd be worth a great deal of money. And then they had the Pathfinder, which is this one here. It's got a knife, it's got the saw with a combo tool, but no back tools. So that's the small sort of range that they do. I've found the Solo, and it's the only one I've got in the collection so far. If I ever see any, I will definitely pick some more up. Right, let's have a look at the dimensions of the knife itself. So obviously the true dimensions for this, obviously I think I've lost a bit. Somebody's used it obviously as a pry tool and lost that sort of tip. So unfortunately, now I could soon make this more of an acute tip, but I think I'm just going to naturally sharpen it until we get that tip back. But so it's an 84mm blade total. So that is, let's have a look at my dimensions. That's 3 1/4 blade. But the cutting edge is 75mm. That's 2 7/8. And then obviously we know it's 108mm. So it's got this brilliant lanyard tube as well, hole, so you can have a lanyard. And it's such a substantial, I think the main as well, I've seen a few adverts where they mention about the backspring strength. It's got lovely walk and talk, a really good backspring. Really snappy. But yeah, just a brilliant knife. It's something I wish Victorinox would bring back out, the 108mm, because it's a proper working knife. And with these nylon sort of, I think they've got something. They're definitely a more reinforced nylon, but they've got sort of a cross weave on them, which makes them really grippy. I love this motif. But yeah, they're brilliant line that unfortunately is now discontinued. But if you see one, definitely snap them up, because brilliant one to have in the collection. But yeah, that's all from me. I love doing these Victorinox videos. I've made a bit of a playlist on my channel of a few that I've previously done. I'm a big fan of Victorinox and Wenger, so I'll be adding to them throughout my time on YouTube. But I've just had a few brilliant sort of Wenger knives in. So I'll be looking forward to doing a video on them, and a few newer Victorinox ones that I've really been enjoying. So I'll hopefully get some videos out of them also. But yeah, thanks for your time. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.